This morning, as the sunlight gently filtered through the trees and softly touched the dew-kissed rooftops, a quiet realization slipped into my soul. Love never begins with emotion, but with surrender. In that silence, God does not call you to do more, to achieve more, but to love more deeply. As He has loved you since before you were formed, there are moments when we awaken with a heart still heavy from unresolved conversations, unreconciled glances, and wounds that have yet to find rest. But if today is the beginning of something new, then change does not start with actions, but with a heart that knows how to love as the one who first loved us. Someone once said, "Forgiveness is the work of the strong," but Jesus went further. He not only forgave those who offended Him, but also prayed for those who crucified Him. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Luke 23:34. Love is not found in giving easily when it is received, but in continuing to love even when it is not understood. That is when love becomes a way of life, not a natural reaction. When you pray to love like Christ, what you are earnestly seeking is not a gentler heart, but a heart that obeys. One that, though broken, remains tender toward others. O Lord, this morning I come not to ask for more blessings, but for something more essential. Teach me to love others as you have loved. I know that love is not an abstract concept, but a concrete action, patient when misunderstood, gentle when provoked, quietly serving when unpraised. Teach me to abandon the need to win every argument, so I may begin to triumph through yielding and reconciliation. Place in me a heart that does not strive to prove its rightness, but is ready to kneel and lift others up with kindness. People may love through a glance, a word, or a gift, but to love like Christ is a daily dying to self, a willingness to let others step upon your silence without resentment. When I read 1 Corinthians 13, I am pierced to the core by lines that mirror my soul. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. I cannot live that out by my own strength. I need the power that comes from you, the one who not only commands love, but lived it out amidst the darkness of humanity. There are people today who will cross my path in a fleeting glance, a careless word, or an unintended act. Grant me eyes that do not judge. Teach me to love not based on others' attitudes, but on the grace I have received. O Lord, when I remember that you have forgiven me 70 times 7, I have no reason to hold on to even a single grudge. Break down the walls I have built with my wounds, and with your own hands, soften the parts of my humanity that have turned to stone from past experiences. I do not ask for easy love. I ask for steadfast love, enduring and restorative. For I know there are days when love is not like a sweet song, but a patient hymn amid harsh realities. It is standing in a chaotic family and choosing gentle words over cold silence. It is sitting beside a hurting friend, not needing solutions, but simply being present. It is daring to face myself and forgive the past I once despised. O Lord, Place on my lips words that heal, not a double-edged sword that deepens others' pain. Teach me to be silent at the right time and to speak the right words. Teach me to slow down, to sense the hidden loneliness in the eyes of those I meet. I know that love is not always reciprocated, but when I love as you love, I step into a sacred depth where I no longer love to be loved, but love because I have been loved abundantly by a God who never ceases to pour out. Though I am still imperfect, still failing in love, do not let that cause me to close the door to giving love. For I know that each time I love, through forgiveness, through support, through an embrace in silence, I am weaving the fabric of the kingdom of heaven in this fleeting life. And so, I begin this new day, not with a list of tasks, but with a quiet prayer in my heart. Teach me to love, O Lord, but not with my heart, rather, with your very heart. As I step out from this quiet morning into the rush of life, I know the greatest challenge of love lies not in lofty ideals, but in the most ordinary moments, where careless words, unkind attitudes, or misunderstood kindness test me. In those moments, I do not need more theories about love. I need your grace to love in paradox. I need the living water to refresh the parched places in my heart, wounded by hurts no one sees. I need a love that does not fade when unreturned, untainted by disappointment, and unstrangled by self-defense. O Lord, I come this morning not with hands full of merits, but with empty hands, ready for you to place in them fresh compassion. There are those I have tried to love, only to be disappointed. There are apologies I intended to offer, but memories quietly resurface the pain. I realize I am loving with limited capacity, but you love with eternal nature. Pour into me a stream from heaven, a love that does not originate in humanity, but from the living Holy Spirit at work within me. When I recall your words in Matthew 5:44, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, my heart softens. For it is hard to pray for those who have hurt me, but I know that only prayer can break the chains of bitterness. So today, I lift up to you the faces I do not wish to see, the voices that weigh heavy on my heart. Not so. You would change them as I desire, but so you would change me. From the depths within, O Lord, place on my lips blessings instead of complaints. Soften my surroundings with your presence, not by requiring those around me to change. Grant me courage to step into rooms where I once felt small and choose to be present with light rather than defense. Let your peace in my heart be greater than any need to prove myself, greater than the longing for apologies, understanding, or recognition. Is there ever a love that goes unrecorded yet persists, like a small lamp no one notices, yet still illuminates the stumbling steps of others? If that is the love you call me to, then I ask not to stand out, but to be useful in your kingdom. I do not need the world to call me good, so long as you call me faithful. I do not need admiration, so long as I live each day as a small reflection of the great love you have given. O Lord, calm my heart when it boils with injustice. When I feel abandoned, ignored, or misjudged, remind me that you, too, were misunderstood, rejected, and crucified. Yet instead of retaliating, you prayed. I ask to follow in those footsteps, trembling, imperfect, but sincere and yearning. Make me gentle with others, because I have met the one who is gentle with me. Let your love shatter the hardened ego within me, so that from its fragments, the fruits of forgiveness, kindness, and patience may grow. Teach me to love without selectivity, to love without holding back, to love as one who knows they were once flawed and are being renewed each day by grace from heaven. Though I may err today, misspeak, or fall short in loving enough, let me not stop returning, kneeling, and asking for more love once again. Not the love of the flesh, but the love born from the wounds of the cross, where you proved that no distance is too great to cross, no heart too hard to soften. Let my heart, from this morning, beat to the rhythm of the love that heaven is composing. And if this world grows colder, darker, then let me be a small spark, not dazzling, but faithfully shining where you have placed me. There are loves that need not blaze like fireworks, but burn quietly like an oil lamp through the long night. That is the love for family. Love tested not in grand gestures, but in each morning embrace, each uninterrupted listening, each moment of restraining anger when exhaustion piles high. In the familiar home, where every flaw is laid bare, love must be made most sacred. For loving a stranger is sometimes easier than loving those closest, those who have hurt us not once, but many times, until our heart shuts the door and weeps in silence. O Lord, I come to you, not to ask for more reasons to love, but for renewal in my soul. Where love has grown cold from piled misunderstandings and unvoiced wounds. I do not want to live in a home where hearts retreat like lonely oases amid forced laughter. I long for my family to be refreshed by your patience, by a peace not from easy circumstances, but from a love chosen anew each day. I pray you restore conversations replaced by silence, glances once filled with hope now averted, and embraces once warm now distant. I believe you can still heal relationships that seem worn out by time. As Ephesians 4:2-3 teaches, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. No unity can endure without daily commitment to forgive, to humble oneself, to begin again. No matter how weary, O Lord, I know my loved ones struggle in their own ways. They may not speak it, but their roughness stems from unhealed scratches. Teach me to love beyond reactions, to see past harsh words and glimpse the soul needing embrace. Make my heart soften instead of retaliate, melt instead of rise in opposition. Grant me a love that does not wait for them to change, but changes me to bridge the gap between distant shores. When I stand before a family meal where the distance comes not from empty chairs, but from closed hearts. Grant me courage to start the first conversation. I do not want to wait for others to make peace. I want to step forward, not out of superiority, but because I desire peace in my home, not victory in arguments. If someone needs an apology, let me be the first. If someone needs to be heard, let me be the ear. If someone needs forgiveness, I offer it as a sacrifice to you. Love is not born in ease, but matures in adversity. When I must love amid injustice, I resemble you more. When I am patient with harshness, I reflect your grace. When I forgive 77 times, I testify to a love not of this world. Let my family be not only a shelter from external storms, but a place where love truly lives. Not glamorous, not loud, but enduring like steady breath, quietly nurturing each soul. I place each family member into your hands, every heart with its private burdens, every silent distance yet unnamed. Break the barriers with the presence of your Spirit. Kindle a flame of love unquenchable by any trial, for only in you does love transcend time, past, and unhealed wounds. Grant me gentle hands to rebuild, non-judging eyes to understand, and a heart unwearied in loving my kin. And though my family may enter a winter of silence, let me be the first flame heralding the spring, not in the sanctuary, but in the dusty marketplace, where hurried, nameless crowds pass each second. Love is measured most truly, for loving family is hard. But loving strangers, those who owe us nothing and bear no obligation, is the true test of a heart touched by God. In a world that favors retaliation, where hearts freeze from apathy and fear of hurt, to love as the one who loved, loving proactively, with mercy, without expecting return, becomes a quiet revolution. O Lord, I step out my door into a world not easy to trust. I see eyes avoiding contact, forced smiles, harsh words as shields for unhealed pain. Do not let my heart harden like this world. Keep in me a soft place amid this harsh realm, where love can begin with a tender glance, an uplifting word, a small but sacred act. In Luke 10, you spoke of the Good Samaritan who, by all societal standards, should have passed by, yet stopped, knelt, bandaged, and brought the wounded to an inn for care. That love was not a fleeting emotion, but a decision to humble himself, giving time, resources, and kindness without knowing if the other was worthy. Grant me feet that pause, eyes that see pain hidden behind calm facades, hands unafraid to touch others' wounds. Teach me not to take the detour when someone lies hurting on the path you've led me to. Some encounters are so brief I'll never know their names, yet they may test my love. Perhaps the beggar on the corner needs not my preaching, but a look without contempt. Perhaps the colleague missing deadlines needs not more blame, but someone to say, "I'll help you." Perhaps the server who brought the wrong order needs not criticism, but a second chance from one who understands the pressure behind their practiced smile. O Lord, teach me to abandon measuring love by its return. The world teaches me to be kind only to those kind first, but you teach that the truly righteous do not love in easy circumstances, but choose to love when forgotten, rejected, or misunderstood. Let my love bear the mark of your kingdom, where kindness is not strategy, but essence, where forgiveness is not conditional, but life, where mercy is not based on facts, but poured out like rain on both fertile fields and barren rock. Fill me with a love that does not distinguish faith, class, origin, or achievement. A love that sees your image in the homeless, the prisoner, the single mother, the hungry child, and even the one who just offended me. If the world asks, "Why are you kind to the unworthy?" I want to answer, "Because I was loved when unworthy. And now I'm sharing just a fraction of that love." Make me a living love letter from heaven to earth, not with eloquent words, but with every gesture, choice, and day lived reflecting the light of the love that once saved me. I seek not recognition, nor praise. I only pray that when someone meets me, briefly or lifelong, they sense a part of you, feel gentleness in a harsh world, experience kindness like cool water on a parched soul. And if today I can choose only one thing, I choose to love. Though small, though imperfect, though costly, I choose love. There are days when love is not like radiant sunlight, but like a small candle quietly burning in a room full of shadows. There are mornings we wake not with a heart full of inspiration, but weighed down by silent sacrifices no one knows. Yet, in those moments, when we love not for feeling, not for return, not because someone deserves it, love becomes pure, profound, and more like the cross than ever. O Lord, in a world that glorifies instant results, I feel lost when I love without seeing fruit, forgive without receiving apologies, care without being reciprocated. But you remind me that this sacrificial love, love that seeks no reward, no spotlight, is what shakes the heavens. As Romans 5:8 declares, God demonstrates his own love for us. In this, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, not waiting for us to be better, not waiting for us to change, but loving, dying, sacrificing, right in the midst of our brokenness. Help me remember that love is not when I'm treated fairly, but when I stand steady amid the storm in my heart and choose to forgive again. Not because others deserve it, but because I've been forgiven undeservingly. Not because I'm strong, but because your love upholds me every moment. Love is when I refuse to throw the stone, though I have just cause. As you said to the woman caught in sin, neither do I condemn you. John 8:11. In a world eager to condemn, you chose to reach out. O Lord, if the love I bear today is tinged with tears, let those tears water the barren field of grace. If I must sacrifice time, energy, pride, even personal dreams for someone weak, lost, or hurting, remind me that no true love bears no mark of endurance. Grant me willingness to love as you love, unconditional, boundless, untiring. I do not want to be one who loves in words but lives selfishly. Not one who preaches forgiveness while harboring bitterness. Not one who gives only when convenient, but shuts their heart when love becomes inconvenient. Break in me the habit of loving only with reason, and replace it with a heart that kneels and bleeds for others. Grant me endurance, the quiet, unboastful strength, steady like roots deep in the earth, the strength of a mother praying for her wayward child year after year, the strength of a wife loving through a challenging marriage, the strength of a friend who doesn't give up despite repeated hurts, the strength of a dutiful child, though parents never acknowledge their efforts. Such love, unwritten in books, is written in the heart of God. When I grow weary, be my refuge. When I collapse in the journey of love, be the place where I can weep without judgment, restored by the very gentleness I strive to give each day. For you said, "Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Matthew 11:29-30. If my love becomes a burden, perhaps I am loving by my own strength, not in your grace. Transform my love from duty to privilege, the privilege of serving, the privilege of forgiving, the privilege of loving without reason, the privilege of becoming like the one who loved until his final breath on the cross. If today love brings me tears, I will not hide them. I will offer those tears as part of my worship. For I believe that love that bears pain is love refined, and refined love is where your miracles begin to spread. No grand miracle is needed to prove your love is at work in this world. Sometimes, in a cold cup of water given, a sincere smile amid a rushed morning, a gentle greeting at a bustling bus stop, that love emerges, unassuming, yet divinely holy. In Mark 9:41, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, anyone who gives you a cup of water in my name will certainly not lose their reward." This makes me understand that no act of love is too small. If done with a heart that knows you watch every silent detail, O Lord, I live in a world that craves the spectacular, where people seek achievements, prominence, and lives of influence. But you came as a child, grew in a poor family, washed disciples' feet, dined with sinners, and died not amid praise, but mockery. That is the nature of your love. Humble, serving, and faithful in the smallest things. I do not want to live a life of love only in words or grand gestures. I want to love in the folds of the everyday. When folding clothes for family, straightening a chair left askew in a cafe, listening patiently, though my heart is troubled. Grant me ears to hear your quiet call in each simple moment. If someone hurts, make me not pass by in haste. If someone is angry, place in me a gentleness beyond instinct. If someone is lost, use me as a gentle guide. To love like you is not waiting for grand opportunities, but making each small moment sacred. It is pouring water into a glass without expecting thanks. It is helping an elderly person cross the street without awaiting recognition. It is choosing silence when words would wound. It is using eyes, not mouth, to show care. It is wiping another's tears while hiding my own. No one sees. But you see, and that is enough. Teach me that love is not a demand, but a gift. Not given to be repaid, not served to be praised, not patient to later claim credit, but offered, lost, melted, like a candle burning quietly so another may find their way in the dark. Love does not count the times it gives, nor recall the times unreturned. Love knows only one thing: if someone needs to be loved. This heart still has room. Keep me from the weariness of doing good to be validated. Free me from the need to prove my kindness. I only want to love, truly and deeply, as you loved me, though no one knows my name among millions. For not every mark of love is etched on this world's golden plaques, but they are recorded in heaven's book, where no dust of forgetfulness gathers. O Lord, let me be a quiet soul, but not invisible in your kingdom, one whom someone, on their hardest day, remembers for a cup of water, an embrace, a word. You are not alone. If I cannot carry light far, let me keep my lamp burning where I stand. There is a love I often overlook, not because it is unimportant, but because I have learned to undervalue my own worth, the love for myself. Loving as one learning to believe I, too, am worthy of embrace, not in arrogance, not to place myself above others, but to acknowledge within I am wonderfully made, and loving myself is the first step to loving others fully. O Lord, there are days I stand before the mirror and cannot linger on my own eyes, not for appearance, but for the failures I hide, the self-reproach I whisper, the standards I never meet. I have hurt myself with harsh expectations, with words sharper than any external judgment. I have let feelings of inadequacy erode every small joy. But your word in Isaiah 43:4 reminds me of a simple, profound truth. You are precious and honored in my sight, and I love you. You do not love me because I am perfect. You love me because I am me. No conditions needed, no need to strive to prove. Heal the wounds I have inflicted on myself through pointless comparisons, self-rejection, believing others' negative words over your truth about me. Remind me that true love begins not with external change, but with deep inner acceptance, where I pause, breathe deeply, and whisper, God made me, and that is good. I do not want to love myself only when successful, beautiful, or praised. I want to learn to love myself in brokenness, in weekdays, in unfinished moments. For if you do not despise me in my mistakes, I have no reason to reject myself. If the creator of skies, mountains, oceans, and stars calls me my marvelous work, I will no longer call myself a failure. Grant me mercy, not only for others, but for myself, to sit with the pain I once denied, to stop dismissing my weak emotions, but embrace them as part needing redemption, to cease pretending strength in every breath, and live as one who knows they are loved even in weakness. I know that self-love is not an excuse for selfishness, but a firm foundation to love others without needing their validation. When I know I am loved by you, I no longer need others' praise as oxygen. When I am secure in the identity you give, I can love without fear of hurt, give without fear of depletion, forgive without awaiting return, Teach me to see myself through your eyes, a gaze unhurried to judge, not measuring by failures, but always seeing potential sprouting from ashes. Let me not try to fix myself to be worthy of love, but live as one already loved deeply and growing daily in that grace. If today I must learn one thing before loving others, it is this: I am not abandoned. I am not forgotten. I do not need to earn a place in anyone's heart to prove my worth. I have a place in the heart of the one who died and rose for me, and that is the beginning of the most enduring love. It is not only at great crossroads or pivotal decisions that love demands faithfulness. In the most ordinary days, when the clock ticks familiar hours, when meals repeat with old flavors, when words between spouses or parents and children grow sparse, true love is tested by quiet, unadorned steadfastness. It is the love that needs no stirring soundtrack to feel meaningful. For it is the gentle melody of life continuing each day in God's hands. O Lord, some mornings I wake without a heart ablaze with joy. Just another day, a to-do list, a familiar schedule, a rhythm seemingly insignificant, but in that routine, you are weaving a precious tapestry with small threads of faithfulness, each kind act for loved ones. Each time, I choose patience over hasty anger. Each chance to love, though unseen, unpraised. I realize love does not always come with inspiration. Sometimes it comes with will, when I feel nothing. Yet wash dishes for my mother, carry my child on my back, though exhausted. Send a note to a hurting soul, reminding them they're not alone. Then I am loving with the love you showed, a love that chooses to stay. Though the cross loomed, though disciples slept, though crowds turned, you did not turn away. In 1 John 3:18, the apostle reminds, "Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." Perhaps I need not write a love song or perform a feat to prove love. Perhaps the most beautiful thing is to keep loving on days my heart is cold, to do right when no one compels me, to remain faithful when no one watches. Help me live a life of love, unbound by emotion or recognition. Show me the holiness hidden in the smallest acts, folding a forgotten towel, apologizing first, though not wholly wrong, nodding to the guard standing in the sun, offering a gentle glance to an elderly woman waiting to cross. Not because they are grand, but because you see, and because my heart, too, needs practice through small things to become more like you each day. Grant me commitment, not only to those I love, but to love itself. A love unshaken by opinions, undaunted by indifference, undissolved by worldly selfishness. A love rooted in my communion with you, where I need not strive to do good to be kept, but do good because I am already kept in your eternal arms. If I must walk a long road without the results I hope for, let me know that faithfulness in love is never in vain. I may not see fruit today, but the seeds I sow are guarded by you in the soil, awaiting their season to sprout when I least expect. And if I grow weary in this steadfast journey of love, grant me feet steady like deer on high places. So I not only press on, but do so with joy. Not because loving is easy, but because loving is transforming me into the person you created me to be. The heart settles into a profound stillness, where the noise of duties, worries, or unfinished tasks fades. There, my soul can breathe. There, love ceases to be something I strive to do and becomes a natural flow from a heart touched by resurrection. At the intersection of weariness and holiness, I see a wonder. You do not demand I become skilled at loving. You only call me to live in your love. So all else flows from that. Lord, I come to you this morning, not with achievements, not with soaring emotions, but with an honest heart. A heart that has tried to love on its own and found it cannot. A heart that has sought to do right but stumbled. A heart that knows without your love from above, I am but a hollow bell, a lifeless form of feigned kindness. True love does not only warm others' hearts, it exposes the falsehoods within me. It reveals my limits, my hidden selfishness, my untouched wounds. And that is why I cannot love truly without being healed. I cannot keep giving what I have not fully received. So, Lord, fill me first before I fill others. Remind me each morning that love begins not with effort, but with surrender. When I lay down my pride, relinquish my right to be right, choose silence over winning. Then I begin to learn the language of the cross. And nowhere is true love clearer than at Golgotha, where blood and water flowed not to prove power, but to testify to a love wounded for others. As I step into a new day with its unknowns, clashes I cannot foresee, sudden reactions, people hard to love, remind me I do not go alone. Your love goes before, with, and behind me. You have entered this day before I opened my eyes, and you have sown opportunities for me to be heaven's hands on earth. Sometimes, love is simply pausing amid busyness to hear a shared burden. It is choosing to believe the best of someone when my heart wants to judge. It is setting the phone down to look into someone's eyes and say, I'm here for you. Such acts may not be filmed, quoted, or honored, but they are recorded by heaven. For you measure love not by its noise, but by its quiet obedience. O Lord, if today I can do only one thing, let it be to love, not necessarily right, not needing to shine, not needing perfection, just honest and offered as living worship, where I no longer play the part of the kind, but live as one saved by grace. Let me be a prayer in motion, walking through the streets, but with a heart tethered to eternity. Each touch, each smile, each forgiveness, each yielding, each silence is a small mark of a love alive in me, a love not mine, but using me to enter the world. There will come a moment in the day when tasks drain the mind, conversations stir unease, and thoughts of self-worth crash like waves. Then, love is no longer sweet words, but a choice to keep believing in goodness, in others, in the world, in myself. That is when love becomes a faithful choice, not based on fleeting emotion, but on the unshakable foundation of a God who loves me. no matter what I face. O Lord, I do not know what I will encounter today. Perhaps a cold silence where I hoped for encouragement. Perhaps an indifferent glance from one I trusted fully. Perhaps a moment when I sacrifice much, only for my kindness to be misread as meddling. I cannot foresee all that will come, but one thing I know: you still love me, and that love is the anchor of my soul. Hebrews 6:19 speaks of hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. I believe love, too, is an anchor. It keeps my soul from drifting in life's turbulent seas, from sinking into bitterness when hurt, from losing way amid unmet expectations. Love, your love, is what holds me steady, not by reason or argument, but by a deep commitment to something beyond human feeling. Keep me from growing calloused. Do not let past wounds close every gate to today's love. Do not let me use old pain as a shield to avoid vulnerability. You did not create me to defend, but to connect, not to live in suspicion, but to make love my daily exhale. You did not give me a heart to hoard in fear, but to let it be a spring of living water for others. If today's love requires crossing a chasm of disappointment, rejection, or unhealed memories, remind me you crossed that chasm for me first. No divide was greater than between heaven and earth, yet you bridged it with the cross. So I, too, will dare to step, though my feet tremble, though my heart is unready. For I know you hold my hand in each small act of courage. O Lord, grant me enough love to not grow bitter when forgotten, enough generosity to not shrink my heart after each letdown, enough strength to keep believing in goodness, though reality seems contrary, and above all, enough faithfulness to not only pray beautiful words, but live them through my actions, words, and glances today. If my heart grows weary by day's end, I will return to where I began in your arms. There, I need not strive anymore. There, every effort to love is dried by your eternal gentleness. There, I am no longer a weary servant, but a child embraced. And I will rest, not because I loved perfectly, but because I loved with all the honest heart a tired but hopeful body could muster. Then comes a moment, perhaps at the end of a long day, when the heart is empty and the mind exhausted. You look up at the ceiling, wondering, the love I gave today, did it truly change anything? That is when doubt creeps in, like mist, thin, silent, but obscuring the light. The world has taught you that love expects return, a conditional bargain, a two-way exchange. But Jesus shattered that logic. He chose to love knowing he would be betrayed, washed the feet of his betrayer, stayed silent instead of retaliating, chose the cross over a throne. O Lord, if the love I gave today seems fruitless, remind me that not every seed sprouts instantly. Some are watered in silence. Some harvests are not mine to reap, and some miracles come only after 1,000 quiet steps of love no one records. Grant me patience, not only to love long, but to love deeply and truly. Do not let me judge love by others' responses. A cold glance does not mean my gentleness was wrong. A rejection does not mean kindness was unneeded. A silence does not negate the power of a quiet prayer. Every act of love, if born of faith and obedience, carries a sacred frequency only heaven can measure. In Galatians 6:9, a gentle exhortation echoes, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." I do not know when that time will come. Perhaps next month, next year, or in an eternal field where I no longer stand to see the fruit. But I choose to keep loving. For love is not a strategy. It is the identity of one once redeemed. Make me more like you in how I respond to hurt. When others choose silence, let me choose words of peace. When they push me away, let me keep the door open. When I am forgotten, help me remember I am engraved on your hands. Isaiah 49:16. If tomorrow I must love those who hurt me today, grant me a healed memory and a heart cleansed by your blood. If this journey is long, give me small steps, and if I lose my way in self-doubt, whisper to me again, "You are mine." And the love you sow is part of the plan I am writing. O Lord, I do not ask for an easy love. I ask for a true love, one refined through fire, forged in silence, proven not by achievements, but by unwavering presence. A love that does not shine with glory, but glows steadily through each day, each choice, each small moment, like tiny runway lights guiding another soul home to the Father. And if today I can say only one final thing, it will not be a complaint, nor a surrender. It will be a sacred vow. I will still love, O Lord, though my heart aches, though I am not understood, though no one knows, I will still love, because you did it for me first. As night falls, as the world's sounds recede, and all noise becomes a distant echo in my mind, I am brought back to one question. Did the love I live today reflect the love you gave? Not by the number of things I did, nor by others' praise, but by how I kept my heart gentle, even when misunderstood, by not withdrawing my hand when an embrace was refused, by choosing not to dim my smile, though no one smiled back. Sometimes, I realize I live in a world where true love is seen as weakness, and coldness is hailed as strength. But I know, in your eyes, one who dares forgive before an apology is stronger than any sword-bearer. One who dares soften their heart in a calloused savage is not vulnerable, but a clay vessel filled with the Spirit's grace. O Lord, if today I loved without return, help me see that results do not always come instantly, but love is never meaningless. I am sowing something eternal in a finite world. Each act of love, each forgiveness, each tender glance, they never vanish. They are gathered, as Malachi 3:16 writes, "A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name." Not everything I do needs to be seen by others. That you see is enough. If the love I bore today left a flicker of light in a darkened soul, let that light keep burning, needing no control from me, no rekindling. For it is your fire, a flame that never dies. If my words caused one to pause in anger and choose peace, though I may never know, I thank you for using me as an unseen conduit. And if no act of mine was noticed today, I will still look up and whisper, Lord, as long as you are pleased, my heart is full. Grant me a lifelong commitment to love, not the love ignited by fleeting emotion, but a flame unquenched in my inner altar, not a love that lives only in spring's ease, but endures winter's chill. A love that, through silence, rejection, misunderstanding, weariness, never wavers. And as long as I breathe, let each breath be a silent yes offered to you. Yes, I will keep loving, not because I am skilled at love, but because you still live in me. At the moment when the day settles, when the last light shrinks at the horizon, my soul is placed in its truest state between weariness and gratitude. No more need to prove, no more lists to complete, no more questions of am I enough? Just me and you in the profound silence of faith. That is when I understand that love need not win, need not be right, need not dazzle the world. True love is choosing to stay, to continue, to forgive, even when no one asks. Oh Lord, if I once thought love was an achievement to attain, today I see it as a journey without end, the heartbeat of a soul walking with you each day. I do not love to receive, but to reflect a part of you to this world. As 1 John 4:12 says, if we love one another, God lives in us and His love is made complete in us. The love I live is not my own light, but a reflection of the eternal love burning away all doubt in my heart. I need no grand event tomorrow to keep loving. I need no one to change to keep loving. I need only one thing, you still living in me. For that, I will love. Through pain, in silence, in obscurity, in repetition, in weariness, I will love in how I cook for my family, in setting down my phone to listen, in holding back anger when I want to flare. Love needs no proclamation. Love needs practice, and I choose to live it, step by step, breath by breath. If someone crosses my life without grasping how deeply I loved them, I still believe their heart touched something gentle. For true love need not always be explained, only present. If I can leave anything to this world, let it not be lofty lessons or lasting impressions, but the feeling of being loved, sincerely and unconditionally. O Lord, I offer you not only gratitude, but also what I failed to do. Perhaps I snapped, rushed, interrupted, or missed a chance to love more. But I know your grace does not measure me by one day's success or failure. You look at the direction I turn, and I keep turning to you. Each day, each fall, each rising, each whisper. Teach me to love more than yesterday. Love is not a destination, but the essence of a renewed self. And if Jesus chose love as the way to bring life to humanity, I, too, choose love as my way of living. not ornate, not fully understood, just honest. And when all prayers are spoken, when every corner of my soul is laid bare in the light, I hear a gentle breeze, not from without, but within, from a depth only the Spirit can touch. That is the moment needing no more reasons to believe, no more proofs to press on. For my heart is still enough to realize love is not just what I ask for, it is what I am becoming. Every tear I've shed, every word unspoken, every silent sacrifice in the dark, they do not fall into nothingness. They are gathered in your heart like sacred pearls, sparkling under the gentle gaze of the one who sees all. And now, as my heart ceases its haste, I understand it is time not just to say I love, but to live I am love given to this world. Lord, I have walked through these prayers like a river, some stretches rushing, some calm, some requiring effort to paddle, and some where I only needed to let go and float in your grace. Now, I am about to leave the shore, stepping into a new day or a night's rest. But what remains, lingering like the day's final light, is not what I've said, but a quiet affirmation: I have been loved, I have loved, and I will keep loving. For the one in me is love, unfading. From here, I step into the close, not to end, but to begin anew, with a new heart, a gentle breath, a loving step. And so now, as the final words are about to be spoken, and your heart lingers in the echo of divine presence, do not let love stop at feeling. Do not let this prayer be a fleeting moment of stillness, then fade like other thoughts. Let it be a beginning, the start of a life loving more deeply, more steadfastly, more truly, in each small choice every day. If these whispers have touched you, reminded you of a part of your soul you once wanted to forget, it is not by chance. It is an invitation to a journey of living in God's love, where you are no longer alone, no longer loving by your own strength, no longer facing this world solo. You can start with something small. Share this prayer with someone needing uplift. Write a personal prayer in the comments, so brothers and sisters in faith can pray with you. Follow this channel, not for more content, but because sometimes you need a gentle reminder that you are supported, not forgotten. The love you carry in your heart is not in vain. That love is light. It is life. It is living proof that God is still working in this world through you. So, as you step away from this prayer, walk as one with a mission to love, one ready to speak the first kind word, one unafraid to begin again, one who chooses love, knowing they have been loved to the utmost. And if you are willing, stay with us, with this community, with souls yearning to be loved and learning to love. Follow, share, and spread the gentleness of the one who loves you to each person needing a small light in the dark. Love never runs dry when given, and light never fades when shared. You have been loved. Now is the time to live as one, carrying that love. Amen.